So guys, review time again, and this time it's the Squape Enduro MTL tank. MTL RTA, little rebuildable mouth to lunger. Very, very, very good. Got a little NI80 coil in there at the moment, hitting it on about 24 or 25 watts. Very, very good vape. Heaps and heaps of flavour, and a throat hit right there to get you. Okay, without further ado, let's go and pull it apart and have a look. Okay, so let's have a look inside the box. So here we go. Squape Enduro, Swiss quality vape since 2012. Nice. Side of the box, EU imports. Okay, the other side of the box, squape.ch, and on the back, mouth to lung, MTL on the bottom. Contents: one complete Squape Enduro, one manual, one set of spares, one SQ grip band. Going to be very, very handy. Trust me on that one. Features unique filling system plus emetallized chamber. Also very handy. Unique tank design, stainless steel 316L for low carbon. Fully lockable tank plus 100% Swiss made. Okay, so not a cheap tank. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Probably up there with Kaifun. So anyway, so you're looking at a couple of $100 to grab one of these. Anyway, let's go and have a bit of a lookie. Pop the top out, stick it down on the bench there. Flip the lid open. Okay, so you have a set of instructions right away. Please execute the following before the initial use. This is because of the difference between the base on the direct lung and the base on the mouth to lung decks. You have a different restrictor for each one, slightly different airflow. I think the juice flow would be exactly the same, but yeah. So the steps that you have to take. Step 1, turn the tank into remove position. We'll have a look at that. Step 2, this is the base, the deck and poles, cool, or the deck and the terminals if you like. Step 3, your closing ring, okay, or your restrictor if you like. Step 4, your base, deck and closing ring should look like this. Okay, this is the diagram for the direct lung version. And step 5, push the restrictor up inside. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute. It's okay. Cool. Little instruction base, and probably in Swiss on the other side there, I would say. Okay, move this stuff out of the road. Alright, so here's the hero of the show, the Squape Enduro. Very nice. I've taken the restrictor out, or the, what do they call it here? Let me have a look again. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we'll grab it out. One part. Alright, take the tank out. I'll just put that to one side and show you what's in the rest of the box. Stick the ring over there. Okay, pull out the insert in the box. Cool, we get like a mega massive Allen key here. It's about a 6mm. I haven't actually measured that, but I probably should. So about 6mm. Get a very nice bag of spares. I've not seen since the last Kaifun I bought this many spares. A couple of extra screws for your posts or your terminals, and yeah, we've got all manner there. The 2 orange ones, you'll see those when we start to strip the tank down. The other ones are basically seals for the top and bottom of the tank. Okay, so I'll stick those over there. And the grip band, nice. I can understand why they put one of these in, because yeah, unless you lubricate this thing, the machining on this Swiss tank is so good, you may actually have trouble making the adjustments, but I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, we get a nice instruction booklet, which I haven't even bothered to pull out of the box yet. Let's go and try and pop that out. Wow, might even need a screwdriver to get this out. Okay. Okay, bunch of different languages. Okay, cool. You can go through pretty much, if I get past the Swiss part here, pretty much everything you would need to know about the Enduro tank. Description of the Enduro, scope of usage, carton contents, initial setup, accessories, warnings, general warnings. Okay, all the stuff that most vapors will be familiar with. Alright, so I'll stick that back in the box. Put the spares back in there, put the grip band back in there, because I've been using this all week, so I think it's probably lubricated enough. Oh, but I'll keep the Allen key out, because this is going to play an important part. It's okay. Stick the instructions back in there. Keep the airflow restrictor out, because we're going to need that. Pop, whoops. Wait a minute. Stick that in there. Put the insert back in, and put the instructions on top. Cool. There we go. Nice. Let's put that to one side because we're not going to need it for now. Alright, so here's the tank. Very, very nice tank. Alright, do some quick dimensions. I'll put that down and it'll probably try to while away because my bench is a little bit out of square. Alright, let's have a bit of a look. Height-wise, from not including the drip tip to the bottom, we're looking at about 48 millimeters, thereabouts. Okay, so in the old school, that's a little bit under 2 inches. Well, actually, it's probably nearly bang on 2 inches. Diameter-wise, it's a 24 millimeter tank. Okay, so go and put the tape away. All right, so let's strip it down and see what you get for your $200+. Drip tip, very, very comfortable MTL drip tip. So nice. Nice restricted hole in the top. It's very, very good. I'll show you the airflow as we go along. Now the ring on the top, or the top cap, actually comes off. If I can actually manage to get it off, that's the thing. See, this is why they give you the grip band, because it's actually quite difficult to get off. It's not meant to come off. It stays on there so you can refill the tank as you go. Try and pop that off. Wow. Without a bit of lubrication on those O-rings, this is a bit tricky. Right. Going to bring in the cheats tool. Get the Stanley knife out here. Just leave the top off a little bit. It should just pop off. There we go. Okay, got the top ring off. Wow, that was a lot more difficult than I made it look. Okay. So here's the fill ports on the top. So you just adjust the top. I'll show you that as we go along. Adjust the top of the tank. Okay. Now I remember watching a review before this one turned up from P. Basato. He had a lot of trouble adjusting this top. Like, it's slippery. There is no knurling around the top cap too. I found it, as long as you lube up the O-ring in here, lube up the rings on the top as well, because they do contact the inside of this cap quite firmly. Okay, you can see there where there's actual rub marks on the top of the cap from where the O-rings have been touching. Yeah, it is a bit fiddly, so definitely take the manufacturer's recommendations and lubricate these. Okay, so I'll put the cap down. Now, I haven't done this up very tightly, so I can actually take the chimney section out. Okay, just unscrews. The whole chimney comes out as one unit. There you go. Now, what Mr. Basato was talking about, he finds he gets a better flavour out of a conical chimney or a funnel-shaped chimney. I don't seem to have any problems with flavour on this. This gives a very, very intense throat hit. I haven't tried anything that has throat hit like this since the Perla, the Sherman Perla or the Churchill Perla. It's yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. All right, put that to one side as well. So we got the cap, chimney. Okay. Now on the top here, so we have a 5mm tank in this because I'm outside the EU doing this review. I feel really sorry for the guys in the EU actually getting stuck with a 2mm restriction on their tanks. So this O-ring just pops out, nice and easy, and then the tank comes out. Super simple. Borosilicate glass, of course, so it resists heat and thermal transfer as well. Bit of boron in with the silicon mix in the glass. Nice, so I'll stick that down. Okay, and there's the base. So we're looking, well, there's like the tank enclosure, and you can see the base through the bottom. So there's a coil that I've already installed in there. It's an NI80 spaced coil that I've been using today just to test it out. I usually do contact coils, but all right, having a look at the bottom as well, there's a couple of markings on the bottom. Okay, so the airflow is on the side here. This central line, when you line this up with the little groove on the base. I'll turn a little bit so you can see that. Line that up. The tank section just pops straight off and leaves the deck behind. Okay, and then you've got the completely closed mark on the side here. The 0 is like closing the circuit, if you like. No juice flow at all. So you crank it around to there, tweak the top so the fill ports are open, fill her up, close the fill ports again to get the vacuum, or the airlock if you like, and then you can go back to airflow adjustment on the side there. That's about it. Pretty straightforward. Alright, so I'll go ahead and just see if I can get the base off this. A little bit fiddly when you're doing it by hand, trying to get it into place. There we go. I'll just attach it to the old burnt out coil tester here. Yep, make sure we've pretty much got it lined up, and off it comes. So there's like the top chassis, if you like, for your tank. Comes off as one piece. Seems a little bit over-engineered, if anything, but geez, if you're going to engineer it, you might as well over-engineer it. It's such a good tank. Alright, so we'll put that down. And there's the deck. There's the little spaced NI80 coil I've been using. Now the cool thing about this, if I have a look down the top, I'm just going to use something that's a bit pointy here. Looking down from the top here, if I can get these in the light, you've actually got your juice ports. You can see the hole on the side there, corresponding one on the other side. Okay, have a look through the bottom of it. You can see the two holes in the bottom of the deck there. Perfectly line up with the juice ports on the deck. Nice little O-ring sitting around those. Just feeds in through the sides, under the side of your wick. It's a really simple design, and it actually works beautifully. Now when you go and put the restrictor in, this has actually got the slots on the side that you can adjust to, okay, for that little triangle shape where you gradually open up the airflow more and more. Okay, you just open up more of those grooves on the side. You can see they go up in ascending order there. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. That's the only thing that you have to actually assemble on this before you go and do a build on it. So if I take that off, still got a little bit of juice, even though I tried to clean it all up before I started doing the review. Stick that on top. It's not quite a perfect fit, okay? You're going to get a little bit of rocking there, and that's okay. That's normal. That's to be expected. What they do recommend is you get a bit of juice. So use a bit of PG or something. I've got like some 50-50 mix here, which will work very nicely as lubricant. I'm just going to put a little bit on this cotton bud here. Cool. Get a bit of lubrication going. Yep, great. Plenty on there. And then put a bit of lubricant around the top of this section, just to be able to push it in, because I've cleaned all this before I started shooting. This is going to be pretty dry, and it won't want to go into place. Stick the cotton bud over there. Wipe up the excess juice there. Cool. Go and pop that back on. Now, what you have to do, if I turn this around a little bit, where's the slot? There we go. You can see the groove, if I get that in the center of the camera there. See the little groove on the deck, on the edge of the deck. Right. So you line that up with the little groove on the side of the chassis. I ended up, the first time I put this in, I actually pushed it in by hand because it sort of jammed on the way in, but I'll see if I can do it for the benefits of the camera this time. Right. Try and line those two grooves up, push it in nice and evenly. Perfect. There it is. It's gone home in one. Beautiful. Didn't work like that the first time, so pop that on, take the deck back off, and there's the restrictor in place. Perfect. Look through, you can see daylight through the holes, so it's actually lining up with where the juice ports are underneath the bottom of the tank. Cool. Should be pretty much good to go. Now what they give you this crazy size Allen key for, if I push the deck out of the road for a second, we'll go and assemble the tank section. So that's up in there, nice and tight. Really, you shouldn't need to take that back out at any point. But if you do, I found just get a slot head screwdriver, pop it upside down, pop it up the right way, and you'll see a tiny little rim on the edge of the restrictor there. Just push on that and it'll actually pop it loose. Okay, just be gentle because you don't want to scratch the shit out of it. The idea with the restrictor too is it's an e-metallized aluminium. The idea being with that it actually drastically reduces, because of its non-conductivity, it reduces the likelihood of shorts. Right? The deck is also made of the same stuff, and when you turn the deck upside down, or the whole base section, look, can't even see a peak insulator under there. I haven't pulled the screw out to actually check whether there's one in there, but with an e-metallized deck and an e-metallized base on the bottom of the tank, you probably don't need a peak insulator, because you've knocked down the chance of shorts, or the likelihood of shorts. So I'll go and turn this back up again. Screw that back onto the coil tester for a second. I'll leave that. Alright, drop the tank section in. Nice and easy. Go in either way. Perfect. Grab the O-ring. Go and stick it back in. I have found that this likes to pop out a little bit. Takes a little bit of play, particularly if you twist the O-ring a little bit when you're going to put it in. It can try and sneak out while you're screwing the chimney back in. Alright, the top section of the chimney. Let's pop that back in. Just get that thread started. That's it. Nice and gentle, because it is aluminium and it's threading into other aluminium, so you can get stripping if you're not careful. Now obviously you want to wind this counterclockwise because you're going from underneath. So just give that a little twist and tighten it up onto that O-ring. Nice. That's about as much as you want to do. Cool. And there you go. She's basically ready to go. I'll just grab that cotton bud again. Give this a little bit of lubrication around the outside. Nice and easy. Just helps that top cat seat properly, because you push it on without a bit of lubrication on this O-ring, and it won't sit down. You'll end up with a very, very slight gap, probably result in an air leak, and you'll end up being in the shit, and it will leak and flood and gurgle and bubble and all of the undesirable things that we don't really want. So you can stick that on any old how, pop it down, perfect. Nice seal. That's what you want. A nice tight seal underneath. Wipe off the excess juice there. Just wipe a little bit off. Okay. Open. All you got to do, even when the deck is inserted, get it in front of you, just give it a little twist, and everything's closed. Nice and easy. I remember Mr. Basato doing this, and he had all manner of trouble. I'm thinking that they've actually changed the O-rings between possibly the prototype or the pre-release version that they sent him and this one that I bought retail. Nice and easy. Super easy to fill. Super easy. You can see the volume as you go up, and then you just shut it, twist it on the bottom, and it's good to go. So let's have a look at that. Alright, so I've already got this wicked. If we have a look, actually I'll screw that back into the coil tester for now. I just need to get it stable. I'll actually go and check post to post on this thing. Using the 100 as a marker, you're looking at, if I go center to center on that post, about 7 millimeters. So you've got so much room to get coils in there. You can use spaced. I was running a contact in it during the week, contact coil from stainless. I do actually prefer the flavor that I get from stainless, but had a mate wrap up some nice micro aliens in NI80, so I just spaced one of those out just to test how it goes today. Flick the temp control off, of course. Alright, so we'll take that out. Go and pop this, line up the little dash or the line on the side of that with the line on the bottom of the build deck. Put it all together. Actually, before I do that, lubricate that little O-ring a little bit, just to allow the tank to slide on nice and easy, or that upper chassis section slide on nice and easy. Cool. Where's my little groove? There we go. Line that up with the groove on the top. Pops in thanks to the little slots that they put around the inside of the chassis that line up with the little pegs on the bottom of the deck, if you like. It's very difficult to get it wrong. Such a forgiving tank. So I'm going to pop that in. There we go. Great. And it's all back together. She's good to go. Airflow's completely closed because it's in the release position at the moment. So that's cool. I'll leave the drip tip off just for a second. Alright. I'll go and screw this onto a mod. Go and pop this on. Been testing out, even though it's a 2-year-old mod, been testing out one of the Vicious Ant Primos. Looks very, very nice with this tank. Alright, so when you go to screw it on, right, I'm just going to crank it and open up the airflow there. Just get everything nice and tight, and then the top section will turn independently of the base, like so. Still a bit of a nightmare if you haven't screwed it on quite tight enough. Okay, you get the base wants to start turning, like the deck will turn independently of the chassis on the top. Anyway, so that's good to go. We're at the 0 point there, so she's good to fill. Alright, what I didn't bring in was the juice. Give me a sec. Alright, so we've got some Castle Long Reserve. Nice. Some Vibe Pawns, one of my favourite juices. One of my faves. Love the bourbon notes, and wow, does this thing reproduce the bourbon notes. Alright, flick it around to open. That's good to go. Whack some in. Get a full 5 mils in there. I'll just do like a 2/3 of a fill or 3/4 of a fill there. Shut the ports again. Cool. Just completely hide those O-rings, those little orange O-rings. Drop the drip tip in. And we are good to go. Just go and crank up the Primo. Yep, she's right. Temp control's off. I'm hitting this at about 25 watts or something like that. What you want to do though is go across to here, open up to your desired airflow. So you're tightening it again. You can see there's a single peg starts opening up. As you turn it more, there's 2, then there's 3, and then eventually 4 when you get it to max. I've actually tried it on about half airflow, and it's a very, very restrictive. You still get a reasonable amount of vapor, and you get such a tight MTL draw. There's something in this for everyone. Such a good tank. Such a good tank. It's clever design, and it's properly built and very, very forgiving for a novice builder as well. It's alright. Let's have a little toot on that. Wow, man, that throat heat is something else. Alright, let's go back up and we'll talk about it some more. There's your Enduro from Statcom. Okay, so looking at it, let's compare the two side by side. Kaifun Prime MTL, Statcom Enduro MTL. Slightly different tanks. That one's obviously a bit bigger than the other. I get the same coil, different juices. What are we looking for? Head to head, the Prime, definitely slightly bigger clouds, although I'm still tweaking with the Enduro. Yep, probably get a little more tutorage out of the Prime. Still get very, very good flavour from the Prime. What it can't do, however, is give you the sort of throat hit that you get out of the Enduro. Wow. This thing is something else. Coughing, gagging, get the gag reflex going. It's awesome. As I showed you, I'm tooting Castle Long Reserve in this, which has got some really nice bourbon notes on top of the vanilla and the coconut and the almond. That bourbon, wow, hits you right here somewhere. I don't have any problem with the throat hit on this. It's a different kind of vape. Very flavourful, very deep throat hit. I don't get anywhere near the sort of throat hit on the Prime, though I do love the Prime. Definitely, definitely love it. Worth every penny. Which one would I take if I had to go to a desert island and choose between one of these two? which one would I take? Oh, yeah. Seriously, 2 different mods I'm firing them on here, but similar wattage, 25 on the Enduro and 23 on the Prime, basically the same coil, which is interesting. 2 NI80 coils, exactly the same thing, 4 wraps, nice and easy. Which one would I take? I don't know. The jury's still out on that one. Probably flip a coin. I reckon take either one would be a winner. Yep. Very, very good tank StatCom I've created here. Very, very good. So forgiving with the wicking as well. You just basically cut it to the width of the bottom of the deck, stuff it in the ports. As long as you've got that little restrictor or the little ring that goes inside when you first assemble it, as long as you've got that in the right place and the juice flow is working, there's no flooding, there's no gurgling, no bubbling. Just don't purge through it. That's the only thing. Do not blow back and purge through this tank. Did that, ended in disaster. Lost a bit of liquid, but it's all good. Yeah, it's a very, very good tank. Definitely worth the money. I don't know when knockoffs will start appearing, but if you test one of those and it's even half as good as the real thing, you definitely want to be grabbing an authentic one. Man, that throat hit. I'm like 5 or 6 days down the track with this thing now. Underwater on the 15th, it turned up on about the 21st, so yeah, 5 days down the track. I'm still getting used to the throat hit on this. I'm going switch tanks, go backwards and forwards sort of thing, and yeah, you get back on this thing, have a toot first thing in the morning, cough, gag, wheeze. Wow, reminds you what throat hit really is. It's very, very good. Alright, signing out guys. Peace out. Keep on tooting. Stay off the stinkies. And I'll see you for the next review.